Well, hi everyone, it's that time again. It's pack and crack time. So we're going to pack a few orders today. Obviously I've already packaged up the products, most of them, so that we can just pop them in the boxes and get them shipped. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's do some pack and crack. Okay, so we're going to start off by packaging Antonio's cupcakes. If you're watching Antonio, these are yours. We've got 2 black raspberry and melon. And by the way, the 2-for-1 has finished, but I do have just a few of the older soaps. I've got those reduced for £3.75 if you're interested. The 2-for-1's been on about a month, so can't leave it on indefinitely. It would have helped if I'd had the labels out ready for these, wouldn't it? So we've got 2 black raspberry and melon, and we've got 2 pink. Yeah, pretty perfect. I always think they're called pretty and pink, but they're not. They're called pretty perfect. Now, if you don't know who Antonio is, he has a channel called Antonio Makes, and he does all kinds of crafts and cooking on his channel, and he seems to be doing very well on his Instagram. So these boxes that I package these in, they're called Ballotins, and they're just like a little chocolate box really for putting chocolates in, but they work perfectly for the cupcakes. And these other boxes that I use here, there's a little bit of space in them. I'd rather have a smaller box, but I don't have these boxes made to fit my products. If I could afford to do that, I would, but basically to have every different colour box that I would like, you're probably talking £1,000 per colour, which would mean I would get them a lot cheaper, but I just can't afford to do that. So so I have to shop around actually looking for boxes, look at the measurements and everything, and see what's going to actually fit my products. It's not easy packaging. It's like the pain of my life really, my business world. All part of being a business owner. And the labels I use, I get from online labels. I get the coloured labels. If you want to see how I make my labels, I'll put an information card in the top right hand corner of the screen, and you can watch me actually making the labels to see how I do it. But I actually print onto an A4 coloured sheet sticky label. I just buy the matte. I used to buy gloss labels. I always preferred gloss, but I like matte at the moment. So I guess that's one good thing about, you know, buying packaging in smaller quantities. When you get sick of that packaging and sick of your labels the way you're doing them, then you can do something else, which probably isn't a good idea, because when you're a brand, you want to make your brand recognisable all the time, so people look at it and they know instantly when it's stood on a shelf that it's your brand. But there are a lot of brands out there that I know of. Obviously, like Lush, they do theirs is always the same. It's the black with the white font. But there are a lot of other companies that make products, and they'll bring a range out. So whether it's a floral range or an inspired by something range, and they'll do that range always in the same packaging. But they do bring new ranges out and they'll change the packaging, so they don't always keep the packaging the same for every different range they bring out. So for me that would probably work better, because I do get bored with the same old packaging. I guess the word to use is branding, not packaging. Right, now for the bath bombs. So I'm just wondering which colour to put in what, because I haven't actually got any white boxes like this. So we'll put the Silhouette Louis Vuitton inspired bath bombs into these cream containers. I'm surprised I haven't got any white ones actually. Just got some tissue already cut here, and just cut a 70 by 50 piece into quarters, and we'll just pop them in the box like so. I got a fantastic comment from someone that purchased last week, because it's just unbelievable to me that anybody writes that about my bath bombs. But they bought some bath bombs from me, and they said they always buy from Lush and they like mine better. I couldn't believe that, because I mean, obviously I believe what she's saying. People are not just going to say these things, but Lush are fantastic at making bath bombs. So I can only say the thing I've done that's a little bit different is that I've reduced the content of my witch hazel in my recipe. So again, if you haven't seen that video, I'll also put an information card to that video in the description box, because the recipe's on it as well. What do you want to talk about today? Tell me in the comments what you want to talk about, and then next time I do a pack and crack, I can actually talk about it. That's a good idea. so they look really cute like that. And those bath bombs, again, it's just finding a box that your bath bombs are going to fit perfectly into. So I should remember to have a link to those in the description box. So these are the rose petal bath bombs, and they're going to go in the gold boxes. I love these type of boxes that you just bend and they snap together. They like lock on the bottom. They're my favourite kinds of boxes because there's no faffing on with them. No folding, no sticking, no cutting down. Because these boxes, I have to cut them all down. Otherwise they're far too deep for my soaps. And then that means they take up a lot more space in your shipping box, which is no good at all. I think this is the nicest packaging I've ever had, that's for sure. Right, and then obviously the flirtatious bath bombs are going to go, you see I've changed the design on the top because I haven't got any wafer flowers, so I'm using those lovely daisies that I got from Home Bargains. Actually, this is something I wanted to tell you. In my bath bomb video, I found out that I'm actually allergic. You know, as though when you talk about hay fever, I'm actually allergic to making bath bombs. I'm thinking either the citric acid or the bicarb or the SLSA does not like my eyes, so I actually have to wear goggles now. To make bath bombs. I usually get hay fever earlier on in the year, and I noticed, I mean it's probably been happening for years, but I noticed this year that I was getting hay fever, you know, the itchy eyes, very, very, very itchy, crazy itchy, to the point it drives you crazy. And I thought, do you know, I made bath bombs yesterday, so the next time I made them, I took a note, and yeah, I got the itchy eyes again the next day, and it lasts for a few days. So the time after that, I decided, let's put some goggles and a mask on while you're making them. I think I'm alright. I don't really need the mask, but it's obviously the citric acid or the bicarb or the SLSAs, or maybe all three, combination of the three, is getting into my tear ducts, and it's really, really aggravating to them. So I thought I'd tell you, because there might be some other bath bomb makers out there that this is happening to, and you haven't realised that it's not actually hay fever, it's making bath bombs. So this is my Good Girl massage bar. I just wanted to show you how that is coming packaged to you. Still comes in the same box, like so, and then pop one of the labels on. It just fits nice and neatly and snugly into that box. So soaps come in this type of box, which is so pretty. Now these boxes, if you buy them, they are supplied with a ribbon as well. So if you didn't want to put a label on, you can just tie your ribbon, maybe put a label on the back instead. That's the cupcake boxes. No, that's the bath bomb boxes. These are the cupcake boxes, and they're the massage bar boxes. Right, it's now time to start getting these into parcels. I've got some old Cock Up Love Spell soap here, cut into slices. I've got multiples of those, so they're actually going to go into some of the orders. It just depends what people order as to what I put in as a free item. And then we've got, these are our wax melts. Now wax melts are still $3.75 on the website, but the wax I use is doubled in price since a year ago. So it's a difficult one, and that is why I don't have a wholesale listing anymore for wax melts on the website. Basically, I just can't guarantee that I can get my hands on any to make them, to supply a shop. Probably not a good idea. And so, because it's autumn, I thought we'd change the tropical tissue paper out for some gold tissue. And Laura, the lady that says my bath bombs are better than Lush's bath bombs, this is your order. So we've got, do you know, I don't think your order's going to fit in here. 2 silhouettes. No, it's definitely not going to fit. 2 rows. And 2 flirt bath bombs. Two black raspberry and vanilla soaps. No, we've no chance. 2 Yog Nog wax melts and 2 Lust wax melts. We're going to do it. Oh, but are we? I need to get 4 pretty perfect cupcakes in here. Is it possible? 1, 2. No, that's going to be too high. Yeah, too high. Let's try it this way. 2, 3. Ooh. 4. We've done it. We've done it. So just need to count how many products we've got in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And on the order we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to give her, I mean obviously this is a huge order, so I'm going to give her a full piece of Love Spell soap, and I'm going to put some wax melts in, Sweater Weather, Bite Me, Creme Brulee, and Black Raspberry and Vanilla. And this order is going to Rogerstone. So this is just a thank you card. Also though, on the back, if you've got Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or anything like that, I'm just asking you to follow my socials. If you're using Instagram or TikTok, then tag your tag any photos or videos that you do. I'd love to see them. So it just tells you how to do that on that card. Have you seen my nails? I actually did them myself. If you're interested, let me know and I'll do a video on how I did them, because I ain't no nail technician. But I do like watching nail design videos. So I've learned what I've learned just by watching those videos. So I'll just write on the box whose box it is, just so I don't, especially when I'm packing a few orders like this, just to remind me not to make a mistake and forget whose box is whose. I've got loads of these old stickers that I made for when I used to do candles in tins, and I've been just using those up, just sticking them on the front of the box, so people obviously know when they get their order who this is coming from. Right, so that's Laura's order. Right, next up is Antonio. This is your order, sweetheart. So, Antonio, this order is going to Sheffield. So, he ordered 1 black raspberry and melon and 1 pretty perfect cupcake, but because we had that special 2-for-1 offer on, he actually gets 4 cupcake soaps in with his order. And he'll also get a free sample of soap. You know, a lot of people ask me all the time about how do I get away with making soaps look like food. Well, it's not something I get away with. It's all down to the interpretation. Now, if you read the legislation, it says a product shouldn't look like food, it shouldn't smell like food, it shouldn't be packaged like food, and there are other lists as well. There's about 6 different things. Honestly, each one of those rules practically everything out. Instead of thinking about the looking like food, what about smells like food? That means you can't make anything that has a fruity smell, a herbal smell, a candy smell, a sweetie smell, a dessert smell. It basically rules. It can't smell of tomatoes, it can't smell of mint. So it's all down to interpretation, and that interpretation comes from trading standards. Now, I've found over the years every trading standards is different depending on where you are in the country, and I think a lot of them err on caution. But just a plain piece of brown soap looks like fudge, doesn't it? So where is the line drawn? And this is how it works, is it's down to interpretation of your trading standards. And that's just, you know, I don't know how else to explain it. If you're gonna send in a safety assessment, send in just a regular piece of soap. Don't tell them you're going to make it look like food. The issues I have come across over the years is small items that are like choking hazards, such as raspberry shapes or chocolate shapes, that kind of thing. Those things that will fit into a child's windpipe and can choke them. So if you're in doubt, just get in touch with your local trading standards office and they'll tell you what they think is okay and what isn't. Now, I was told by my trading standards officer that if you wanted to dispute it, you can actually dispute it. And it could even go as far as going to court, and you can show all these other companies that are doing this and that, and then actually what happens is the judge makes a decision. Now obviously that's going to cost money, isn't it, because you're going to need solicitors and things like that, so it's up to you what you do with it. But the truth is, you don't really need to make anything. I know I still do the cupcakes, but I don't do many nowadays. Not like I used to. I used to do loads. And they were my best-selling items, but they're not anymore. There are so many different things you can be inspired by and create without having to make anything look like food. But as the litigation says, it's not just looks like food, it smells like food, it's packaged like food, etc, etc, etc. So it's up to you really how you interpret the litigation. I mean, my trading standards officer said, because we're talking about children under 3 here, he was pretty sure that anybody that put a piece of soap in their mouth or tried to bite into a piece of soap would spit it right out. Of course you would. So I'm quite lucky with my officers here, and you know, they do come here and check that you're doing everything correctly. And don't worry if you're not. Don't be scared of them, because if you're not doing something correctly, they'll tell you, and then they'll have another day to come back and check, and they come back and check, and then as long as everything's fine, you're fine. So don't be scared of trading standards. I think the only time you're going to have issues is if you start ignoring what they're suggesting. Right, Ruth, this one is going to, I hope I can say this right, Bargoed? I'm guessing it's in Wales, so I'm sorry if you're watching and I pronounced that wrong. Okay, so this is just a nice little order. We've got a 2-for-1 on the Royal Copenhagen inspired soap, and the massage bar, Good Girl massage bar, is also going to Bargoed. So we need a box that one will fit into. This one might be okay. All the links to where I get the boxes and parcels are in the description box below the video, and any other useful links will be in there as well. So when you think of a company like the Body Shop, for instance, nearly all their stuff's fruity, isn't it? Looks like I forgot to press the button to start recording, so I've already packed a couple of orders. I've been chatting away to you and the camera hasn't been on. So this order is going to Bargoed, or Bargoed maybe? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm really sorry that I can't, if I pronounce that wrong, but I'm guessing we're going to Wales in the UK with this one. Just one of these boxes I always have an issue with is this one. It's a 20 by 10 by 10. The way they've done the sides, I can't shut it very well. So I've got these old stickers that used to go on the top of my candles. I don't do candles anymore, just do the wax melts. And I thought I would just use them up, just put the stickers on the side of the box, and then people know that the order is from me when it comes through the courier. And I do only do courier shipping. I don't post with the post office. The post office is 10 miles from here, so that's a 20-mile round trip just to go to the post office, and it wastes at least an hour to go to the post office. So everything is done with a courier, and to be honest, yeah, it's a little more expensive, but it's worth it because you get all the cover and everything when you ship with the courier. Right, this order is going to Oklahoma. So Cindy, if you're watching, this is your order. Right. Silhouette bath bomb. Royal Albert inspired. 241. Flirtatious bath bomb. Pretty Perfect Cupcake soap. Again, they were on 2 for 1. They're not now. Autumn Magic wax melt. Fresh Cut Rose bath bomb. Two for 1 Copenhagen soap. 2 for 1 Fahrenheit ombre soap. You can see how good this deal was, the 2 for 1 deal. 2 of the rhubarb and ginger. And she did order a cotton headed ninny muggin. Now I haven't got it. Oh no, I have. I've got a cotton headed ninny muggin, but she ordered 2. So what I've done is I've put an Angel Aura in, and I want to put something else in because I haven't quite got. Oh, hang on. Yes, she ordered 2 cotton headed ninny muggins, but I didn't have it, so I've put an Angel Aura in there, and then we'll also put, I had like a piece of a Christmas soap left, so we'll put one of those in, and I'll put a love spell in just because I haven't got exactly what she wanted. I have spoken to her though, so just she's getting a really good deal there. Now, are all of these going to fit in one of those big boxes? Now, I don't know if you noticed my nails. I did them myself. I quite like watching nail videos, so if you'd like me to show you how I did these nails, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video for you. Ooh, we're going to struggle here. Yeah, no chance of getting all them in there. So I need a different box. It'll be a brown box, I'm afraid, because these boxes, this is the biggest one I've got. Okay, so we got it in the brown box. A recycle box. Take these stickers off so as not to confuse the delivery drivers. Okay, so the next order is going to Arizona. So we've got 2 black raspberry melon, 2 pretty perfect cupcakes, and we've got 2 rhubarb and ginger. I'll just put one of these old candy cane soaps in there, and I also want some wax melts. Wax melt samples. Now, as we're coming nearer to the end, I want to talk a little bit about food imitation regulations. The reason I want to talk about that is because so many people come to me and ask me, how do I get away with making products look like food? Well, I wouldn't say I get away with it, but the way it works is, if you read the food imitation regulations, we're just talking about the UK and the EU here, we're not talking about anywhere else in the world. If you read the legislation, it says that we're not supposed to make anything that looks like food. But that legislation also says looks like food, smells like food, is packaged like food, among other things. So it practically rules everything out, because if you make something that smells like food, so say lemon or fruits or herbs or candy or bakery or anything else, peppermint, anything else you can think of like that, that rules all of those smells out. And we all know that there are loads of products on the market that smell fruity, minty, herbally, that kind of thing. So in my experience, I've found that trading standards are pretty hot on the smaller items, such as small raspberries or pieces of chocolate, things that can get into a child's windpipe and choke them. So a windpipe, you're talking, is something like that sort of size, and anything that can fit in there can choke. So it doesn't matter how big it is, whether it's tiny, because you would think if it's tiny it's okay. It's not. As long as it fits in there, it's dangerous. But if it's bigger than that, they tend to be okay with. But every trading standards office has a different interpretation of the legislation, and that's how it seems like some people can get away with it and others can't. It's just because each office interprets it differently. I always remember reading, I don't know whether it was a blog or whether it was in the Lush Times, but I remember that Lush had written something about them getting into trouble from time to time because they made some of their products look too much like food. And it's a question I get over and over and over and over again, and usually I don't want to discuss it in a video because it's going to open up a massive can of worms, and everybody's going to have their say and what they think's right and wrong on this video, because I'm actually discussing it. But that's what I just wanted to share, that's what I've found over the years. A lot of the questions come because with safety assessments now, the assessor wants to see a picture of what you're making. Well, I wouldn't show them what I'm making. I would just show them a regular piece of soap, because it's actually our responsibility as a manufacturer. I don't think it's the responsibility of the safety assessor. We're the responsible people, and we should decide what we think is okay for market and what isn't. Now, if something isn't okay for market, trading standards will let you know, and it's up to you. You can either stop making it or you can continue making it, because my trading standards guy told me that you can actually dispute it. And if you really wanted to dispute it, it can even go as far as a court case. And if there was a court case, they would get their experts in, you get your experts in, you tell them, this is exactly what my officer told me. You would get your experts in, you would show all these different companies that are doing this, this and that, such as the big companies out there. And then the judge makes a decision on whether you can or you can't carry it. So that's the law boils down to what the judge would say as to whether you can or you can't. The only trouble is with going that far is it's going to cost a lot of money, because you're not going to need to pay solicitors and things like that. So I just wanted to delve into that a little bit, because it probably is the biggest question I get. One thing I will say is, yeah, I do make cupcake soaps, but I hardly ever make them now like I used to. They used to be my #1 selling product. Now they're not. You can be inspired by all kinds of other things instead of doing something that looks like food. Yeah, that's what I used to do a lot, but not so much anymore. I like to be inspired by different things all the time. So I just wanted to share that with you before we sign off on this pack and crack video for September. Actually, might be October by the time you see this video. So as usual, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you for another video from Eden's Secret very, very soon. Bye bye for now.